Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to do a review of a bike I've never heard of or seen before. It's an ADO 20F e-bike, and it's a foldable bike. And my friend just bought one. So I'm going to head down into Vienna today and meet with him, and we're going to go for a ride, and we're going to check out and review this cool new bike.
All right, so why am I reviewing an e-bike when I'm such a big gravel bike guy, and many of my videos are about my gravel travels on my Marin DSX-1? Well, there are a number of reasons. For one, my wife is really interested in getting an e-bike, and she wants to come on some of those longer rides that I do and needs a little extra power to complete 100K days. To that end, we're going to the Vienna Bike Expo this weekend to get a better look at what's out there. It's the 25th year of that festival and the largest of its kind in Europe. And secondly, my good friend Giancarlo just bought one, a fat bike e-bike. Now, I see these things racing around cities everywhere, especially among the food delivery crowd, and they are intriguing. So when my buddy said that he bought an ADO Beast, I just had to go see it and go for a ride with him and get a sense of what this thing can do. As you can see, this thing is a beast. It's got 4-inch tires on 20-inch rims, a full front shock, and weighs in at 28 kilograms. That's like 62 pounds. And on top of that, it's a folding bike. Now, folding bikes are really useful for folks living in apartments. Maybe you don't have a garage, cellar, or storage space. Maybe you don't feel like you can leave your bike outside locked up for fear it might get stolen. Maybe you have one of those really narrow elevators you find in older European apartment houses, and there is just no way a regular bike fits in there. So what have we checked off so far? Well, it's fat, and it's practical, and it looks really cool. Well, what about the motor? It's a 250-watt brushless gear DC motor. Apparently, it can generate 65 newton meters of torque. Well, is that good? Well, in my research, I found an awful lot of e-bikes are in that 50 to 60 newton meter of torque range. And how does torque help? Well, it propels you forward, and it's especially useful on hills. If you're going to ride only in the city and your city is mostly flat, I'm guessing 65 newton meters is more than enough. And now, the ADO Beast employs a torque sensor. Sensors are like the brains of your electric bike. They decide how much help the motor should give you when you're pedaling. And there are two types of sensors. There's torque sensors and cadence sensors. These sensors are super important because they make your e-bike ride smooth and enjoyable. Now, the right sensor can make a big difference in how your bike feels and works. If you want to max out the potential of this fat e-bike, you will likely be out in the woods, on hills, and challenging that torque on a regular basis. Now, I don't necessarily see this particular model as the best solution for casual urban riding, but if my buddy wants to follow me around the hills in the Vienna woods or on cobblestones and gravel trails, then this bike seems to be an excellent choice. Okay, so we got power, but how far can you go? According to the specs, the range of this beast is up to 120 kilometers, which is 72 miles. I think that's on the lowest power assist setting, and that's massive. And it's all made possible by this 14.5 watt battery that's stowed away in the oversized top tube of the bike. The spec sheet tells me that you can recharge this battery fully in about 5 to 7 hours. Well, quick break here just to remind you that if you're enjoying the content you see here on my channel, please do all those useful YouTube things like and subscribe and comment below on your experience with this bike if you happen to have it. Okay, on our ride yesterday, we covered about 65 kilometers or 40 miles of very flat paved trails and had plenty of juice left at the end. The added benefit with the e-bike is that it can keep other devices charged while you ride, especially your phone with the ADO app. But I'm thinking about cameras, additional bike lights, a bike computer, etc. And as far as the mechanical stuff goes, the ADO Beast comes with some DY Island hydraulic disc brakes. They performed well yesterday, but we didn't really challenge them. Empty, paved bike trails don't give you much reason to brake, and even less reason to brake hard. So another ride over some tougher trails will give better data on that. The chainring is a 52, and in the rear is a 7-speed Shimano cassette and tourney derailleur. My buddy did a lot of testing moving through the gears on this, and it was his first ride on the bike, so he found that the shifting was smooth and efficient. Now, remember, the EU limits maximum speed to 25 kilometers an hour, which is just about 16 miles an hour. Riding in cities, it's hard to reach that speed with traffic and busy bike lanes. On gravel in the woods, that seems like a solid speed if the terrain doesn't get too rough. Now, on these flat paved trails along the Danube, the bike can cruise seemingly forever. The international version is clocked a little higher, and it can do 30 kilometers an hour, which is almost 19 miles per hour. So I didn't get a good look at the control panel on the handlebars, but my buddy had it set up in Italian, and he mentioned that it was pretty straightforward and intuitive to use. And it tied in nicely with the app, which is available for both Android and Apple phones, and available in several languages. All right, so what about the ride? Is it comfortable? I can't judge this all that much since I only rode for a few hundred yards on the bike. I found it weird, soft, squishy. But then I'm used to riding on narrow 45mm gravel tires on a bike that has no suspension. I really enjoy the rougher feedback. It makes me feel more connected to the trails I'm on. But my buddy hasn't ridden in years, and he went out and crushed a 65K ride and felt great afterwards. He's recently retired, and I think this really speaks to the awesomeness of e-bikes. For folks who want to stay active and maybe haven't ridden for a while, I can't think of a better way to get going again. All right, so let's talk price. How much is this beast going to set you back? I've been into a few e-bike shops lately here in Vienna, and I haven't seen anything interesting under 2,500 euros, which is about 2,750 US dollars. The beast comes in at a very affordable 1,750 US dollars, which is 1,600 euros. Ado has a broad range of e-bikes from $800 all the way up to about $2,200, and they even have a couple of special combo packages where you buy 2 bikes and get a substantial savings. The Beast is available in white, beige, and black, and most of their e-bikes are available in 2 or 3 colors. Some are available in a light blue. There are some step-through models for women and several folding models to choose from. All in all, I had a really great day out riding with my buddy and seeing him put the bike through its paces. I had never heard of Ado before, so this was a really great opportunity to get to know this Chinese-made bike brand. Overall, I think it's a very solid and capable set of wheels, and from what I've seen so far, I can highly recommend it. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.